Hey, hello there, Americans. I'm just a regular bloke from Canada with time on his hands, fingers on the zapper to change channels, watching for the last 2 years. Your presidential election campaign? I got hooked, and now I want to show you what came out of this, the last months I spent in your beautiful country. We look down on you guys. You live south of us, hey, that's down from us? I graduated in political engineering and I got hooked on the intricacies of your elections, Republicans wanting to keep their strong power structure while Dems want to kick you in the balls to take it. You make a lot of noise for a couple of years, hey? We do it for 2 weeks. Pretty boring, I say. So I crossed the border and was shocked by the intensity of it all. This is war, I thought. I needed to focus hard to see if I could help at all. Hey, to get a better grasp, I rented a cheap motel room and hunkered down for the long haul, checking out every news channel on TV. We have all of these in Canada, but Fox has been blocked as fake news years ago. That was my first eye-opener. Then I had an ear-opener. I ended up spending mornings in my rented car listening to Rush Limbaugh. Pretty soon I had it all figured out. Half the country is stuck to red media, this while the other half on the blue media, more stations but lower numbers. We love Americans and love the USA. What's not to love? Hey, the greatest country on earth. But, my goodness, all that fear and loathing from each side towards the other. There had to be a way to lower the anxiety, the noise, the hateful vibes. Political engineering is not rocket science. All they need is a good referee. We Canadians can be that. We bring sponsors to promote and produce a show on both Fox News and CNN. We attract a sample crowd with cases of maple syrup. Then we invite prestige guests from both sides. And then, hey, we tackle each differing view by finding the pacifying compromise. 100 million viewers, $30 million ads, and at the end handshakes from both sides like after a violent hockey game. End of story. Or so I thought. People around me were listening, their painful faces pleading for a solution. They wanted me to be that referee. Or so I thought lovingly and with mounting excitement. But all they wanted was money to help their party. Some wanted to register me to vote. By that time we had to wear a mask and do social distancing. Inside the motel I started to realize that I ought to give some money, be a good sport, so I chose to send $5 to the Democratic campaign. Hey, they needed to buy a lot of masks. The Republicans at the coffee shop. They hated the idea. Un-American, they were saying. Folks, it didn't take long before the word spread that the crazy Canuck was meddling in the election. With the wrong party. I ended up having breakfast in my room. But things were bad between Americans, getting worse every day. Forget using a referee, hey, with the pandemic threatening the November election, every American was worrying about something. Elected folks, families, rich and poor, everyone was fighting to keep something, their job, their house, their Supreme Court judges, their health care, their mail-in ballot, their privileges, their lower taxes, their right to vote, their party majority, whatever. This while every American of the opposite view wanted to make sure that they never got it. As a problem-solving political engineer, I tried hard to see a way out of so much drama for so many. The facts did fit on clean graph paper, nor did they float well in my Canadian canoe of a mind. The US would capsize into an impossible election, then sink into a recession turning into a real depression. With street mayhem becoming a civil war. Rubber bullets turning into real ammunition. My American friends would be going to hell through no fault of their own. American elections are like American football, rough but good-natured. It's the pandemic that would break the camel's back. Is what it is, as the president said. I would return to Canada defeated with no conclusion but this one, simply that nobody could have anticipated the pandemic. I started packing in my room. Then, I heard this on TV.
We have to put in place an infrastructure, not just here at home, but globally, that allows us to see it quickly, isolate it quickly, respond to it quickly. So that if and when a new strain of flu, like the Spanish flu, crops up, 5 years from now or a decade from now, we've made the investment. And we're further along to be able to catch it. The funding we're asking for is needed to keep strengthening our capacity here at home so we can respond to any future Ebola cases. It's needed to help us partner with other countries to prevent and deal with future outbreaks and threats before they become epidemics. We were lucky with H1N1 that it did not prove to be more deadly. We can't say we're lucky with Ebola because obviously it's having a devastating effect in West Africa, but it is not airborne in its transmission. There may and likely will come a time in which we have both an airborne disease that is deadly. And in order for us to deal with that effectively, we have to put in place an infrastructure, not just here at home, but globally, that allows us to see it quickly, isolate it quickly, respond to it quickly. So that if and when a new strain of flu, like the Spanish flu, crops up 5 years from now or a decade from now, we've made the investment. And we're further along to be able to catch it. It is a smart investment for us to make. It's not just insurance, it is knowing that down the road we're going to continue to have problems like this, particularly in a globalized world, where you move from one side of the world to the other in a day. So this is important now, but it's also important for our future and our children's future and our grandchildren's future. I cannot think of a better example of an area where we should all agree than passing this emergency funding to fight Ebola and to set up some of the public health infrastructure that we need to deal with potential outbreaks in the future.
You know, a lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat, as the heat comes in. Typically,
My God, I don't believe it. Did he really say that? No responsibility? I've had enough. I was sold, sitting on the edge of my bed watching Obama and shocked by his sincerity. I stopped packing, as it dawned on me that Democrats can feel, can read, can count, can think straight and reference science. Since we now have proof that the other party has little of that, Americans will choose Democrats, for a better future out of the coming mess. They will form the next power structure by kicking the Republicans off their lattice, on at least 8 corners: Congress, Senate, Supreme Court, presidency, defense, health, education, and environment protection. I can't vote. But, hey, I'll stick around, prepare posters, help with registering voters, do my darnest best. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Who knows, I might marry Susie, my waitress I like a lot, get a green card and vote. Can that be done? That doesn't seem right. I don't know, but the rest of the world including Canada needs someone with no bone spurs in his head, anyone centered and close to normal. Joe Biden will put an end to this freak show. And I'm gonna help him win as much as I can.
The figure I look at is death. And death is going up now.
Okay,
and it's 1,000 a day.
If you look at death...
Yeah, it's going
let's
up
look.
again.
Let's look.
Daily death.
Take a look at some of these charts.
I'd love to.
We're going to look.
Let's look.
And if you look at death...
Yeah. It's started to go up
here's
again.
one. Well, right here, then
What is that?
Europe.
In what?
Look.
In what?
Take a look. Right here. Here's case death.
Oh, you're doing death as a proportion of cases. I'm talking about death as a proportion of population. That's where the US is really bad.
Well,
Much worse than South Korea, Germany, etc.
you can't do that. You have
Why
to go,
can't I do that?
You have to go by where, look, here is the United States. You have to go by the cases. The cases
Why
are
not
there.
as a proportion of
When we have
population?
somebody, what it says is when you have somebody that
Yeah.
where there's a case,
Oh, okay.
the people that live
Sure.
from
Oh.
those cases.
It's surely a relevant statistic to say if the US has X population and X percentage of death of that population
No,
versus
because you
South
have to
Korea.
go by the cases.
Well, look at South Korea,
If-
for example. 51 million population, 300 deaths. It's like, it's
You-
crazy
you don't
compared to
know
other
that.
countries. I do. It's
You
on the.
don't know
it's-
that.
You think they're faking their statistics? South Korea?
I
An
won't get
advanced
into
country?
that because I have a very good relationship
Yeah.
with the country, but you don't know that. And they have spikes. Look, here's
Germany,
one.
low,
Here's
9,000.
one. Here's one right here, United States. You take
Anyway.
the number of cases.
Okay.
Now look, we're last, meaning we're first.
Last, I don't know
We
what
have
we're
the
first